Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome to how to build Crimson Army. So first of all, why should you build Crimson Army? So first things first, she can leave Gala. That's basically like the main test any mitigation knight needs to pass right now to be playable. She can leave Gala, so yeah, she's playable. Just thanks to that, she's playable. So now, why should you actually build her, and why should you actually play her over ROL? So, unlike Escort, she holds Orius, so Orius can be stripped. That may sound obvious, but right now we're facing a lot of openers, and all of them strip. So we have Silias, we have AOL, we have Lua, we have DDR, we have Monk, we have Zio. All of those can strip your escort turn 1 and make you very, very vulnerable for a turn. That's very scary. Like, you can actually lose a lot of games because of that, but Xiaomi doesn't have that issue. So yeah, that's already 1 point in her favor. Then her S2 works against Slitty, LRK, Venom, Beguile, Karina, stuff like that. Adamant is a really strong artifact, but it only reduces crit damage, right? Like if you actually read it, like it's 16% damage reduction, but it only decreases critical damage. Whereas Armin, her S2 works against absolutely everything. And right now, you do actually take a decent amount of damage from non-crit. So I'd say this is a lot better than Adamant right now overall. So one more point in our favor. Then immunity is just very valuable right now overall. If you face stuff like DDR, Monk, Litty, all of those, AOL, they have debuffs on their S1, right? Like they have debuffs on their S1, their S2. They DDR makes his entire team debuff you. So if you can just if you can have immunity during the game, you're gonna take away a lot of your opponent's power basically. So yeah, her S3 is really good because of that. Then protection set. It's just very strong overall. Like it gives your entire team HP, right? This is 12% of our maximum HP to my entire team. ROL is a lot. ROL gives a better shield overall, but only to light units, right? So that's something to take into account. ROL is really strong, but this only like she gives 50% of her max HP, but only to light units. So if you don't draft a lot of light units right now, this is just much better overall, right? Like protection is just a lot more versatile overall right now, like because it affects everyone. Then if you build her on protection plus immunity, which I would highly recommend, she also forces Lua to S2 her. So Lua, like it takes away the focus from your team, right? Like usually Lua can just S2 something like Karina and be a pain in your ass, because then Karina can proc S2. But if you have Xiaomin on protection and immunity, then Lua is forced to S2 her. Otherwise, Xiaomin won't get reset and can just press S3. So yeah, that's really strong as well. And finally, one of the biggest reasons why I started playing her, she's really good at setting up for Yufin. If you play Yufin a bit, you probably noticed she's really weak to Candy, MLKen, and Nadine. And because if she presses 3 against those units, she's gonna die instantly, right? But if you have Xiaomin on your team, then that's not true anymore. Because you can just press S3, give your Yufin immunity, and then your Yufin is gonna press S3 with invincibility on, and she won't die from counters. And then if you leave from counter, then you can just take another turn and one-tap stuff like one-tap MLKen, one-tap Candy, potentially one-tap Adin as well, though it's a bit harder, and yeah. Like she's just really good at setting up for Yufin, basically. Alright. So with that out of the way, let's look for how you should build her. So artifact, you don't have, like just go Arius. Like you don't have any other options. I mean, you can do other stuff if you want, but if you want to play her as your main mitigation knight, you should go Arius, or like 100% of the time. And then for stats, you want at least 150 speed, but ideally you want more so you don't get lapped. So I would recommend like 170 plus feels really good overall, but you need to make sure you're not faster than the rest of your team, right? So like for instance, my slowest carry is probably Yufin right now. That I play my slowest carry that I play often is probably Yufin, and she's 177. So if I'm 170, I'll always go right after her, which is basically exactly what I want. So yeah, 150 plus, but ideally you wanna be just behind your main carry, your slowest carry. And then just like as much HP and defense as you can. ER is, honestly, effect resistance is not that useful overall. Like it's nice to have some, if you can have like 100 or so, it's nice. But it's really not that useful right now, like let's be honest, it doesn't do all that much. I would still go for some if you can, but it's not the priority. Priority is getting a decent amount of speed and then health and defense. Health takes priority because you're on protection. Now, for right side, you want HP, and depending on the speed you go for, ideally speed, but if you can, then you just go HP as well, right? And then you make up for it by going for like speed, more speed on the rest of your PCs, which is fine as well. Now I'll mention just another build that I played at some point, which I think is actually pretty decent. Like I do think it's pretty decent. It's not insane, but it's pretty decent. So what was it looking like? I think this. No, this. Yes. And then this. HP. Exactly. Okay. So why this build? Like you may okay, so you lose protection, right? Which is a fairly big deal, obviously, but if you can't make protection, I think this is the best build to go for, basically. The reason why is simply because this leaves Gala. Like if Gala S3 into your Armin while she's like that, she won't even get her to 50% HP. Like she won't even get her to 50% HP. She's gonna do 0 damage. And because of that, I think this build is fairly good. I wouldn't go... I think this is basically the sweet spot HP-wise. Like, you want between, like, 18 to 19k. I don't think you want less, I don't think you want more. If you want more, Gala is gonna do more damage and she's gonna get you to half HP, which is kinda bad. And if you go below that, then I think you're too weak to LRK. Like, this is already gonna go fairly low from LRK, so yeah. Like, I think this is the sweet spot overall. So yeah, 18 to 19k HP, 3k plus defense, and like around, again, 150 plus speed, but ideally like around 170, and 100 ER if you can. On this build, you don't really need immunity, you can go for it, but immunity loses a lot of value if you don't have protection to go with it. So yeah. Anyway, those are the two builds I'd recommend. Preferably you go for protection. If you can't make it, you go for the other build. And if people, like right now, I haven't seen anyone slam Opsig yet. Because this, like, if you give a barrier to your entire team turn 1, you're kind of weak to Opsig, right? Like, it's something that's not, yeah, like, you're kind of weak to Opsig. I haven't seen anyone slammer yet, but if it starts being somewhat common, I think you can just build, you either just change build or you build a second Armin, and then depending on who you face, the way they draft, you can, if they don't set up with like an attack buffer, so if they pick Lua, for instance, it's usually fine to go protection set. But if they pick something like Celia, Sengai, stuff like that, you can just go for like the second one, right? And then they can't Opsig you anymore. Like, you just go for the second build and they can't Opsig you anymore, which is very nice. So yeah. And then I'll just show a few drafts, I guess, but I mean, realistically, there's not much to see. Like, I'm just like, yeah. I'm just spamming here instead of Farewell. Like, that's basically what I do right now. And yeah, so here, for instance, like, this is a very good example. If I'm not playing Armin here, I lose the game. Because here, if I press S3 on Yufin, I'm dying instantly, right? I'm dying instantly. But because I'm playing Armin, so here, look at this. I skip my turn because Engai is gonna strip me if I press S3. So I skip my turn, and then I push Armin ahead of Yufin here. I press a 3. I get to press a 3 with Yufin. I don't take any damage because I have invincibility, and then I just win the game, basically. I just win the game for free. Like, just, like, simple as that. I just win the game for free. I one tap MLKN. I finish off Guy, and then I just kill Candy. So yeah, this is something that wouldn't be doable without with ROL, right? So yeah, this is why I'm really liking Xiaomin overall right now. I think she's fairly strong unit, and yeah, I definitely recommend building her if you can. Plus she's a 4-star, so she's fairly easy to build as well. She doesn't need plus 15 either. She needs, like, honestly, you don't even need to put points in that. Like, you're not gonna provoke that often. Like, if you can, it's nice. Like, 100% provoke is always nice, but yeah, you just go. You need to max this, and you need to max this. Honestly, even this isn't really necessary. Like, you just need to max this and that's it. Like, if you're really short on mola, just max this, call it a day. Oh, one last point I didn't mention. Depending on what you face, you might want to go, because I'm playing really IER Destina right now, so this is my Destina at this point. If you face stuff like Pirate Flan, go on Imprint Release. Like, yeah, if you want to ER check your opponent, just go just go on Imprint Release, right? Like, it's fairly valuable, plus 13 ER for free. So yeah, it's always nice. Otherwise, just go self-imprint. Alright. That's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped some of you, and hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Peace.